We've got St. Louis, Arizona, 1920 on the rotation here. St. Louis minus 140 on the road. The total 5.5, shaded heavily to the under here, minus 140 in this hockey game. St. Louis off a tough loss last night against the Vegas Golden Knights. Really good hockey game, back and forth. Vegas pulls one out in OT, 4-3. The Blues do get a point, a very valuable point. That's the good news. St. Louis at least gets something out of that game. They are at 92 points. They are tied with Colorado, 92 points for that very final wild card spot. But by virtue of a game in hand on Colorado, St. Louis has that spot right now. This is their game in hand here on the Colorado Avalanche. You can't waste it. And if you're the St. Louis Blues, it's second night of back-to-back, never an easy spot. I understand that. That game snapped a 6-game win streak that lost to Vegas last night. But you'd better bring your hard hat, your lunch pail, and your work boots to beat the Arizona Coyotes right now, because they're not laying down for anybody. They've been they beat Tampa Bay this week, beat Vegas this week, gave LA a lot of grief. That game was close right till the bitter end. So Arizona not rolling over for anyone, and playing on a second night of back-to-backs on the road, you're always a little concerned about your energy level, especially after a playoff type of game last night, battle between the Golden Knights and the Blues. So this is not a spot that I'm rushing to lay minus 140 with St. Louis on the road. They need the points. They got to get it. It's important. Big game. They need every point they can get right now. I understand that. And they have played very good hockey. Jake Allen, well, prior to last night, Jake Allen had really played well. Sub 2 goals against, 8-1 in his last 9 starts prior to getting beat by the Golden Knights last night. So he's been on a tear for this Blues team. They're starting to get some offense again, which has been good to see as of late. Starting to score goals at least a better clip. They've scored 3 goals or more, St. Louis, 3 of their last 4 games. That's certainly helped them out moving forward during this good stretch where they've won 6 of their last 7. So that's always the key for St. Louis. We know defensively they're good. The goaltending, when it's on, like it has been lately with Jake Allen, and that really helps them out. It's all about, can they find consistent offense enough. So this is an interesting hockey game right here. And don't forget, last time they played, January 18th, Arizona in St. Louis beat the Blues 5-2. So don't think it can't happen. Must win doesn't equal will win. I mean, I like the way the Blues are playing overall, but this is a tricky spot. Second night in back-to-back games, an Arizona team that hasn't laid down to anybody down the stretch of a disappointing season. The Blues are one of those teams that do have a very good back-to-back record this season, 10-4 for the St. Louis Blues on the second night of back-to-back games this season. That's a very good record in this spot, but not enough for me to want to lay minus 140. So for me, I'm going to pass on this game. Should be an interesting one. Arizona's relished the role of playing spoiler. And you're going to get something from Rick Tockett's team. I mean, you've seen it time and time again. Spoiler to Tampa, spoiler to Vegas. Gave LA a big battle on a tough back-to-back spot for them the other night. Arizona's going to want to do it again here to St. Louis. So it's going to be St. Louis is going to have to work for it if they're going to pick up the 2 points tonight in this game. I believe we got someone on this game here tonight. Yes, we do. Dana Lane is also on the Blues and the Coyotes matchup here in this game tonight. Dana, what do you see? It should be a good one.
Yeah, it's an absolute tough loss for the Blues last night that, needed that game against Vegas. And, again, not only this was, I mean, it's certainly not a situation where they outplayed Vegas. There has been times this year, especially in the first meeting, where the Blues completely outplayed Vegas, but lost the game when they probably should have won the game. But like you said, Ian, I mean, I've been kind of scared off a little bit by teams going back to backs, doing that Vegas. Arizona trip in whatever order, but as time has gone on, I've seen teams perform pretty well. I mean, teams that have played on back-to-back nights, that played an overtime game or a physical game the night before, and have come back and played pretty well the night after. I just think it's a situation where they just want to get back on the ice and kind of rectify what just happened. And nothing leaves a bigger bad taste in your mouth than an overtime loss to in a game that you probably should have won, and which happened last night. And like you said, this is a revenge spot. I don't like you. I don't get too excited about revenge spots a lot because if you're a bad team or you're fighting for your playoff lives, the chances are you've had a lot of revenge spots that you haven't taken advantage of. But um, they this is a game they have to win. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if they don't win this game, they don't deserve to be in the postseason. And I know that the Arizona Coyotes are, 15-8-2 in their last 25 games, and I get it, and they're playing fantastic. But the fact of the matter is, St. Louis has to find a way to be motivated to beat a team that they're simply better in. And this is, believe it or not, since March 1st, the St. Louis Blues are number one in the National Hockey League in goals against. I think they allowed only 26 shots to the Golden Knights, who are not used to getting anywhere under 32, 33 shots a night. So I think they played pretty well defensively, and I don't think they're going to have any problem shutting down another one-line team in the Arizona Coyotes tonight. Although Max Domi has given them a little bit offensively on the second line, but to me, this is really a solid one-line Arizona team, and if you can't beat a team like that, then you don't deserve postseason. So I saw $1.35 at 5 dimes, so I have no problem taking that.
All right, he's going to lay it. Dana Lane with the St. Louis Blues, $1.35 in that range, also $1.40. But shop around for the best number you can find. St. Louis against Arizona. A couple Blues trends favoring people that might want St. Louis in this game. 4-0 are St. Louis, last 4 games following overtime the previous day. So there you go. That's something in St. Louis's favor. This is a really good one in St. Louis's favor. 9-0, last 9 trips to Arizona. So there you go. 9-0 St. Louis, their last 9 here in the desert. So they've had a good run of it here playing in Arizona over the years. But that's not factoring in the Arizona current form we've seen the last couple of weeks. So very interesting game. And again, the Blues, as good as Arizona's been, feisty, scrappy as they've been, you're right. In terms of their offense, they've really had to rely way too much on the Keller step-on unit. That top line, Clayton Keller's been excellent for the Arizona Coyotes, no question. They need something more out of the Domi Dvorak group. It's not really been a big time explosion offensively from Dylan Strome since they called him up from the AHL, first round pick of the Coyotes a few years back. So they need more than that first line going, and unfortunately they've been relying on it a lot as of late. So we'll see if Arizona can get secondary offense. They may need it, but it may be hard to come by against a defensively minded team like the St. Louis Blues. We got
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.